I see your demons, I'm telling them it's on sight. I'm just playing, I don't fight, I do pray. I only go the way of Mr. Yahweh. Try to correct me.
Actually, kind of going back to the W-2 versus sub model.
Yep.
It's the biggest question we get asked all the time. Why, like, I've noticed a big thing here in Colorado. There's not a lot of, like, I feel like more and more companies are trying out the W-2 model. Like, why the sub model for you guys?
It works. It's less management, and less foot traffic, right? We can manage much more efficiently by using the subcontractor based model. We don't have to follow up after 60 or 70 employees. Our frontline contractors follow up on those 60 or 70 employees because each of them have 10 or 15, right? So that's that break point that we were talking about, or Bryn mentioned. It's hard to have companies that once you get to 100 employees, it's much easier than having only, employees. But again, we cover that. We help them manage that as well. So that's that partnership that really seemed to work. And it's a proven model. We're very successful based on that model.
So even though we're on the Profitable Cleaner podcast, that might be the last janitorial question I ask, because I have a cool family dynamic here. And I'm just going to come out the gates and say it. When I first met all three of you guys are all so uniquely different, but seem to really blend well together. Obviously, that's the family piece, but you, man, what's it like working with your dad?
I think it's great. I think it makes the workplace, it feels like we're working for something other than just a job.
Yeah.
And that makes this company nice to work for because it's not just a 9 to 5. We're actually working together and we work well together. And that's the best thing about it. I'm going to probably speak to your kids more than anything here. Did you guys so you guys grew up in the business, right?
Yeah, for sure. He was planning when we were young. And so we'd go to work with him sometimes, walk through his buildings and he'd help him dump trash. Or if it was a cool building, I'd kind of just sit there and kind of look around and be like, your dad does this. This is so cool. And he was so prideful in his work. And I was, well, the same.
And I guess my thoughts, for those listening right now, if you guys haven't, go listen to episode 46 with Scott. It's talking about sub recruiting, and it's one of our most popular episodes ever. But through that, I think, Scott, why your episode was so popular is you definitely talked a lot about the business side of things, but you talked about how business really ebbed and flowed through your personal life. And there was times in the business where prior to your kids being here, it was rough.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've kind of hit rock bottom, pulled it out, hit rock bottom, pulled it out. Your kids obviously have probably seen that. I guess I'll start with you. What's that journey knowing what it's been like, the rough times to where it's at now working with your children?
Yeah, no, ups and downs for sure. It was a struggle, cleaning and doing all the work myself, and then growing to bring on one other van and one other person. And then the two of us would go knock out all these buildings, and then it would just kind of progress and grow. But through the economy crash in 2005 and 2006, we lost 50 banks in within a couple of months when that banking crashed. There were 50 customers just gone. And I had to survive that. Right. So, bringing my kids into this company and with it, we slow rolled it because I didn't tell them they had to. They didn't. Bryn actually said, wow, how can I play a role in this? Whereas Breckelle, I'm I asked her, will you please help us out? I need some help. So now we're working together and we're working for this common goal, this united dream about creating something, the three of us actually working and creating something even bigger than I would even ever have imagined. And so that makes me very prideful in my daily work and my vision of this company, and seeing my kids contribute to that vision it's a father's dream.
Put out. So you guys growing up, you guys saw probably the ebbs and flows of your dad's business at that time. Did you ever see yourself working with your dad or in a janitorial company? And then knowing what you know about the background, like what appealed you to it? I'd love to hear from both of you guys.
What's up, my profitable leaders? I know you're listening to this show because you want to stay informed and on top of your game. And I want to bring you something that is often overlooked, and that's how we mitigate risk and actually protect our business, whether that's with misclassification of our employees, contract litigation, immigration law, because we have people that work for us that are from other countries that maybe or maybe aren't misclassified. That's why we partnered with Campos Law. Campos Law is a humanized law firm, as I would put them. They are more than just expert attorneys. They're people looking to help people and business owners just like you. So when it comes to your contract setup, when it comes to your classification of your employees, when it comes to just protecting your business as a true asset, which it is why you should be talking with Campos Law. So for more information, click the link in these show notes and get a partner like Campos Law on your side.
I think as a kid, we saw the ebbs and flows of, Tri-MC went through to grow this company. But as a kid, you don't really know what's going on until you kind of grow older and you kind of look back on life. But it was tough. I think looking back, it was like, he really worked hard for us and for our future. He's always put us first, and everything he does is says this for us, which I think is fun. Not a chili.
No.
Well,
But
I guess before we get to Brent, what appealed you to the business?
I think I kind of struggled with what I wanted to do in life as with my career. And I think it just came at a perfect time, kind of post-COVID. I had already kind of dabbled in work a little bit. And then post-COVID, it was kind of like, what do I do? He needed help and everything kind of fell into place. And it turned out to be amazing for all of us. So.
What about you, man?
Well, for me, I was cleaning buildings ever since I could drive. Essentially, in high school,
I got cheap labor from it.
you got cheap free labor in some cases.
Free labor. You edit that out. I'm just kidding.
$25 a building. Yeah, it was rough for a little while, but I started doing that, and then I kind of broke away from that. Did a couple other jobs, and then eventually just came back. And Dad really needed help on the financial side with spreadsheets, numbers, banking, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I played a role in that, because that's kind of my specialty.
But what was like that moment? Talk to me about that moment. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up the phone and call Dad to like say, let me come work for you. Like, what went into that? What were you doing before?
I guess I was just tired of my other job and not making the money that I wanted to make.
Yes.
And he had an opportunity, so I looked at it. We talked about it for a long time, and then we did it. And I knew where I wanted to be in 5 or 10 years, and that other job, I don't think was going to get it done. So for me, it was an opportunity to, work with people that I want to work and move my life in a direction that I want to move in.
Nice. I see you, Scott, getting emotional already, man.
No, I was laughing.
I mean, I would imagine this has to be special for you, man. You hear $25 a building, 16 years old. You told me like there was a time where you were like cleaning at Anytime Fitness. Like you were just like, it was just you, like having to start over, which I know if you look at the YouTube comments of episode 46, everyone loved like your story of resiliency. And then seeing it now, like you have two, like your leadership team is your children. Like
It is.
how special is that for you?
Oh, it's real special. No, I remember the day that I actually called Bryn and said, Bryn, I really need your help. He's got his he graduated with a finance degree. And I sent him this decrepit, broken spreadsheet, which no one could make sense of it. And he whacks it up and sends it back in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, and then he said, Dad, I didn't realize you were doing this well. And that's kind of how that conversation came about, where I said, well, I really need you to come on board. I need your help, son. I didn't go to college. I'm a college dropout. I just worked my fanny off.
Yeah.
These kids, I made certain, and their mother too, made sure that we put them in college. And, they are educated, and I needed that out. And so when Bryn started doing the financials for our company, it made a huge difference. You were a turning point for our company to be financially, sustainable. And Bryn cut some of the budget and worked hard on saying, Dad, you've got to make some tough choices here because you're hemorrhaging money here, and here. So I didn't have those tools to decipher that data. And here, I'm proud of my son. He's a college graduate. He has a finance degree, and he's contributing monumentally in our business.
Nice.
So that was just huge. And for Breckelle, she's a people person. She has a biology degree, which is super helpful in this industry. But she brings a very soft side, a very communicative side to the business relationship with our customers. And I put her in that position to kind of be our QC. And I got some good feedback from our customers, like, Breckelle is really great. This is awesome. We really like working with your daughter. She takes care of things. You're very efficient. And it's a personality that she has of just being very, very unique, genuine, honest, forthright, and have a purpose-driven attitude about really taking care of our customer.
What's like the Thanksgiving table look like for you guys when you guys are all around, or at Christmas? Are you guys focused on family, or is it hard not to talk about this account?
It is for Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried to make it a point that we didn't have that mix.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where it gets tricky, is when you don't have the separation of time between when you're family and when you're working.
Yeah.
And so at least me and Breckelle really tried to separate that of like, okay, we're all clocked out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the weekend or whatever.
After 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, Dad, I need you to shut up. Yeah.
Pretty much. I get that eagle eye stare, and I'm like, okay, we're done. Let's see.
It's hard though, because if the family and the work is too much, then it kind of becomes all consuming. And I like the separation of like, okay, now we're working, and it's like, okay, now I can clock out. I can relax. I can just hang out with family, and we can spend time with one another. Hang out with Weston, and go to dinner or something like that. But like, you're bringing up too much work. It's like, I just worked all day. I don't want to think about work. So
For sure.
And they work into the night too. There's many times where we have to take calls, problem solve after 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, sometimes midnight. Yeah. It happens.
we get a call.
We are people.
We're working, we're texting, we're, helping the crew. Like, I can't get into the building. And it's like, all right, I gotta clock in real quick. So,
what was you two's relationship growing up as brother and sister? Were you guys close, or?
Not really. No.
Yeah.
We weren't close until maybe college.
I think when I left for college is when we got closer. I think sometimes separation makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
But I think I remember leaving, and he's like, "You're leaving?" And I was like, "I'm leaving, dude."
Yeah.
He was like, "Wait, what?"
He's out of here.
But yeah.
Yeah, we weren't really good friends in high school, and before that, we were just regular brother and sister. We had our feuds all the time.
Yeah.
So, but we got a lot closer in the last 10 years, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, I love our relationship now.
I think it's something to be said. And I think it's like the maturing aspect of siblings too. Like, you kind of start to humanize each other
Totally.
along the way.
And we don't always see eye to eye. We don't always get along, but it's like you prioritize family over all of the
Differences.
over differences. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a statement, and I'm curious to Breckelle and Bryn, your guys' thoughts when you hear this, when it comes to a father's relationship with his kids. It says, early on, you idolize your father. Like, think like from your earliest memories to 10, 13 years old, like your dad's your idol.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go through a demonization phase where like you really like resent your father because he's the asshole. And then at some point you mature as a person, and then you humanize your father.
Good idea.
When you hear that phrase, is that relatable? Is that off base? I'd love to just like learn more about your evolution with your father growing up and now in adulthood, and also being business partners with him.
Amen. Yeah, I think one of my favorite sayings as I got older was, it's your first time living, but it's also your parents' first time living. And so like, give them some grace, because I think there is that part where you're like really close for a while and then you kind of separate yourself and you're like, no, I'm finding my own rhythm. And then you kind of come back to it. It's like, but I really love family, but I got to keep these boundaries in place and I'm still my own person. And then you're like, but I still want that, family relationship. And just remembering that we're all just going through life at the same time and to give each other grace.
What's up, my profitable cleaners? Listen, you guys know that running a cleaning business isn't just about cleaning. It's about growth, trust, building a legacy, and making true impact. That's where Swept comes in. With Swept, it's simple, powerful. It's an app that you can track your cleaner attendance with geofence clock-ins, streamlined processes, team communication, and save hours on payroll. It's the ultimate tool designed specifically for janitorial businesses just like yours. Take control, save time, focus on what matters most, growing your business and spending time with your family. Swept. Clean better, grow faster. If you guys are interested in Swept, click the link below in the show notes and partner with one of the best in the industry.
Well said.
What about you, man? When you hear that, the idolization, demonization?
For me, there was an idolization period. And then I guess we butted heads a lot in high school.
We did.
And which I think is probably normal.
100%.
And I think when I turned 23 or 24, I think I grew up a lot. And I think that's the biggest thing, because I don't know anybody who's good at everything from 17 to 22.
Yeah.
So I think that played a huge role, was me thinking a lot before doing things. And I think that we butted heads a lot because we just were constantly even trying to be at odds with each other. So once we kind of settled down and, I grew up a little bit, I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason I'm asking about these dynamics is because I know a lot of the people that listen, it's family ran companies, just like you guys. But you guys have like decades on a lot of these companies that are listening, right? Which is kind of cool. Talk to me about how you guys settle differences, because like any leadership team, family or not, never sees eye to eye on everything. Like, what's that dynamic look like?
Well, I think I've learned quite a bit in the last several years, certainly by being a part of the Profitable Cleaner, getting some training with people like you, Valinato. I have learned to be a much better listener, especially when it comes to these two great human beings in my life. If I used to not be a good listener when they brought personal problem and now a business issue, and I wasn't the best listener. I was more just like, fix it, right? So now I've given them some grace and I've given them some latitude to show my respect, to show them that I respect their ability to work within their own needs. They don't need to come to me on everything. And so I've given them that freedom in the business, and certainly even on a personal side as well, that I think it's really helped our bond grow with the three of us, but also my bond with each one of my children individually as productive human beings, part of the business, part of the society. And that's what I've learned, just listening better.
And I think something we all have to remember is we're family and we're in a business, but we need to respect the roles of our business. So if the boss wants something done and I don't agree with it, Breckelle doesn't agree with it, it's not like, oh, dad wants something done. It's like, boss said this is the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
So,
And we can give our opinions and feedback of what we think. But yeah,
and if we don't like it, then our job is to be like, okay, we're going to do exactly what he wants the best way that we can, so that when or if it blows up, we go, look, we executed it perfectly, exactly the way you wanted it. And most of the time it's fine, because he does have 40 years on us of experience in this industry. So most of the time we're wrong.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Yeah, we just have to remember.
We bring like little things to the table as far as like financial things for you, or like brand vision on my end of like, no, I really think that this is the way to go. I think for bigger picture. And I think you've been super responsive to these big changes, even just like with the rebrand or so, Bryn tightening down finances, and Dad's like, okay,
Yeah.
No,
this is going to be tough. But I think it's, we've helped create the bigger picture and the goal. And you're such a dreamer. And I think that's one of your greatest qualities. And you're talking about even just bringing together a roundtable of other people, other companies like us. You have this vision of how to connect everybody. And you have this big dream of like, we're going to clean this, and this. We're going to grow so big. And I think that's amazing. It's essential to growth, because if you don't look forward, if you don't have a dream to grow big, you're not going to. If you don't think you can, you're not going to.
Yeah. Well said. I relate to Scott so much. Actually, we have the same birthday too, which is
that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pisces boys.
Ices.
We will. Yeah, but it's also, we have like some Aries mix in there. We have some fire so we're all fucked up. But it's kind of funny. I relate to you a lot. So you're a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. You seem like an integrator though. Would that be right? Think so. Pessimist is probably the word you're looking for. No, that's not.
Very logical.
No, like an integrator though. Like, because every company needs a visionary.
Right.
Every company needs an integrator.
Exactly.
That's like, no, this is how we do this stuff, and reels that visionary back in.
Mm-hmm.
How would you define you?
I think I'm more of like a facilitator. I'm here to help. I'm here to jump in. I'm here to maybe create a different perspective on how it could come across, or how we should approach something differently, or thinking from the customer's perspective and kind of offering that flip side view of like, you can have like the steps to get there, but it's like, let's tweak it in a way that is well-rounded for everyone and to be well received.
I think Breckelle's a relationship expert really when it comes to that side of the company. Like, how is our brand going to be received? How is our, bids going to be received? How is this email going to be received? I think she plays a big role on how we interact with our customers.
See, that's not pessimistic at all.
No, it wasn't. Complimentary, but I both the truth were said. I mean, that's very, very truthful about what Breckelle said, and very spot on what Bryn said. So that's the camaraderie that I enjoy watching from my perspective as a father, and allowing them to kind of grow into their own kind of, this is who I am today, and this is what I'm capable of accomplishing for our goals, our this union, our same. We're both we have the same goals.
How long have you guys been a trio now in the business?
Oh, geez, right? For you, it was right after 2020, and for Bryn, it was 20s. What you came into as a man of
2017, I think.
17.
Yeah. Beginning of 2017.
Yeah. Okay, so that's been a while.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I've been here since 17, so we've only been a trio since 2020.
I dabbled in 2013, but that was very minimal.
When you say dabbled, what do you mean?
Just like a few hours a week in clerical work.
Yeah.
So then 2020, it was like, all right, let's go full time.
Right.
Nice. So talk to me about, I know that the vision and the brand has recently expanded for Accurate. Actually, a lot since even your first podcast with us, which was 2 years ago. I mean, you guys at the time were Accurate Janitorial. You've now Accurate Building Maintenance. Talk to me about that expansion and what all went into that.
That was really mostly Breckelle.
Yeah, I was going to say that is Breckelle. That's her vision.
Yeah.
And Bryn and I kind of sat back and said, Dad, she's good at it. Let her run with this. And we rebranded our entire company, our entire website, our logo, our shirts, our business cards, everything.
Yeah.
She did that. She did it on her own. And we didn't really have much direction. We threw it an opinion when asked, but that was her baby. And we've got some huge feedback from what she was able to accomplish with our rebranding.
Well, what'd you see with that? Like, so you had to see something. You had to think more before it. What'd you see?
I think I wanted to shift our brand into more of the all-encompassing everything we offer. We talk about all these things that we want to offer customers and having it be more building maintenance instead of just janitorial, getting us out of that box of like, we're going to manage your whole facility. And I think building up our brand too of showcasing our family and how we like to run things, and getting some new headshots. And we kind of had these kind of haphazard headshots, or like I think mine was a long time from my graduation photo from college, and I was like, we got to get that changed. I came in, I took everyone's picture, and kind of redid our bid template we rated colors, and kind of made it more welcoming and more aligned with kind of where we wanted to see the brand go.
Yeah.
And,
More of a corporate feel, right? You took our little small business logo.
Yeah.
It was a bullseye.
Yeah, I remember that.
With the red, and white. And now we have a very, very attractive, thanks to Breckelle, an attractive corporate logo.
I agree.
Colors match, the website pops, it's beautiful. That was all her.
Well, I think your brand needs to match like how you present in person. And you said welcoming. You guys are all very welcoming, and that's kind of like that brand statement. A brand's not just what you see on a website, but it's what you experience in real life. What's been some of your customer feedback from the new rebrand?
I think it's just when
What's up, Profitable Cleaner listeners? Quick question for you. Are you using 5 to 7 different platforms just to manage the everyday operations of your commercial cleaning company? If so, let us help you consolidate that into one platform. Introducing you uSource. Go to usource.com, book your free demo today, and actually get started on your trial for 60 days. No charge for 60 days, all from time and attendance to reporting, vendor management, operations, sales. It's time you stop using 5 to 7 platforms and consolidate into one. So listeners, don't forget, go to usource.com and start your account today.
It's been cleaner. I think, making sure that our day porters and our janitorial staff are clothed in our brand. I think getting good feedback. It's like, oh, I know who that is now.
Right.
And
they look good.
And they look
exactly.
to look good, because I think this is a very it's a tough job. Our frontline workers work really hard, and we want them to feel good and look good, and we want our customers to recognize who's in the building and know their names, and that's really important for us. Yeah, and I think just the refresh too. It's like, you get little comments like, "Gosh, that looks really nice. I saw your new website. That looks great," and that's good feedback too, because we all work really hard on it, and that's always nice to hear.
So one of the most common questions we've been asked to ask people on this show, I'm going to ask all three of you, is what's one thing that might keep you up at night within the business? Just one thing.
Just one.
Well, my job is the money. So making sure that we're paying people on time and we're meeting our obligations, and that, that's what keeps me up at night, is that I have to make sure that taxes are met, people are paid, contractors are paid on time. And we have contractors just today that, are finishing up the job, and they're telling us, we need to get paid early. So I got to figure out how to get that done.
Yeah.
Because, our contractors depend on us, and we really depend on them, and we want to help them out. And for me, that's what keeps me up at night, is making sure that all the numbers are square.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I would agree, man. I mean, for me, it's always payroll, right? Like for our company. But what about for you?
Yeah. I mean, I second that for sure. That's one of the areas that keeps me up. But, as any small business, and we're now becoming a little bit larger business, but with any business, a family-owned business, I'm responsible for making the good decisions, because it affects these two people and many more people within our company. So the decisions that I have to make in certain instances affect not just me and my family, but it affects our business family. So we have around 80 plus employees that are below our subcontract, our frontline workers, to the tune of about 80 plus people.
Yeah.
So you multiply that out, that's a lot of households, a lot of families that are directly dependent on the decisions that I make and we make. And so that forces us to learn by our mistakes, admit when we're wrong, make the changes necessary so that we can be a more productive and more sustainable business. Because these people, all those people we're beholden to them, right? And so
And we care about them.
we do care about them. So that's paramount.
Yeah. I would say mine's similar to that. I think there's, in my role, I sometimes feel like there's a lot of moving parts. So it's like making sure that I have all the parts of a new construction job, coming up, or making sure I gave all my contractors the right tools for upcoming jobs. And I think just even thinking about how many people are out working when I get to go to bed, I think that kind of blows my mind because
Good. Well said.
it keeps me humble to know that, like, we employ all of these human beings out there working really hard to put a good name to us, to get more buildings and to like help build their own lives up. And I think that that's really important to me. Make sure I'm always thinking about them.
It's really well said. So on the flip side of that, quickly, that's what keeps you up at night. What's one thing you guys, we'll just go back around this way, you do to stay like grounded and to stay centered as a leader within the business?
Okay.
I think making sure that when I do meet our contractors in person, making sure that they know that I appreciate them and asking if they need anything. I think we can kind of get lost in our upper management roles sometimes, and we forget that there's still boots on the ground. And so, just checking in, or calling them, or a little extra thing here and there, like, we really appreciate you. We're talking about Christmas gifts. Just doing little things to make it known that we really appreciate them, because without them, there's no us.
What about you, sir?
Well, I think staying grounded is super important. You've got to have a couple of outlets that bring you joy. Your and mine are spending time with your kids, and now a new grandson,
Grandpa Scott.
That's right, and taking time out to edify and love on my kids, how much I appreciate them, kind of helps me stay in focus of just showing appreciation, edifying them. They do great things for the company and for themselves. I like to acknowledge that. So taking time out for myself is we all have our craft. Like you have your pottery and your art. So she spins pottery as a little part-time shop, and so that's kind of her thing. And mine is like having a good time, dancing, seeing live music shows, and golfing with my son when the weather's nice.
Right.
So having those family times is really, really important, and that's really what we're working hard to accomplish. Is
No doubt that harmony
that
that you all talked about,
having a better life for everybody.
What about you, brother?
I think having a good why is important on why we're going to work every day, why we're building this thing, and whether it's family. And for me, it's certainly family, but it's also for each other. We're working to make each other's jobs and each other's lives easier, and to make this thing grow. And to me, that's the why that, keeps me going.
Yeah.
So
Well said. Well said.
All right. I know you guys are wondering, how can we keep our cleaning crews engaged and informed, and it doesn't have to feel like a struggle? With Team Engine, you can now automate messages, update teams in real time, and bridge language gaps with their built-in AI-powered translations. Whether it's scheduling, last-minute changes, or sharing critical updates, Team Engine keeps your workforce connected and productive. Say goodbye to miscommunication and hello to smoother operations. Visit teamengine.io to get started today.
Well, I know I wanted to end this podcast kind of a little bit differently. This is my first time. I typically don't have 3 guests, right? And historically, I've always had a co-host. So here we are with this new setup. And also, I've never had like a family all in one setting at the table. Scott, is there anything that you'd like to share with your kids? It's on recording, so you can look at them, look at the cameras. Doesn't matter.
Hot seat.
Yeah, but now's your chance, and this is floor is yours.
Well, we're sitting here at one of our prestigious customers. So this is Castle Pines Country Club. Very prestigious, member only club to join. Beautiful views here out the dining room windows. And we picked this place because this customer has been with us for a decade, let's say. I won't exactly remember, but say a decade. And it is about relationships. And so we want to do an on-location site podcast, kind of showcasing this place. You'll see some clips. But the one thing that I think my kids know this already, but I'll happy to repeat it on video. But I truly love each one of you in a very, very unique and special way. And I have the utmost respect for both of you of what you have actually brought to the table and brought to me. And you gifted me that. Sure, we have a business relationship and you get paid, but it's much more than that. I get gifts from you guys every day because when we work together and have been working together, I see how much you care about me and this company. And I see how much you care about where we're taking this company and how important our frontline people are on a daily basis, because you guys are making quality decisions and you're making a huge impact on what I started 40 years ago. And now I get to sit back and watch my kids that I love dearly take that baton and run with it. And that's a powerful thing.
Awesome. And then I guess vice versa. Do you guys want to use this moment to say anything to your dad?
Yeah. I really appreciate how much you want to pass this on to us. I find that really sweet. And that I feel like I know that you did all of this for us. And it means a lot. You're a really hard worker.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate is all the years you've already put in to make the foundation for what we're building on. And that's, I think, really important because we're standing on your shoulders for what you put in. So we didn't build this, and you did, and we get to help maintain it. That's how I look at it.
Just bust your house.
Yeah, busted.
Overnight success, 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And then I guess my last question for you guys as we wrap up here is, and maybe you don't know the answer, and maybe you don't have to answer, of course, but is the goal to hand this down to the kids and have them run it? Do you guys?
You got to get busy.
Do you get do you have the next big chapter?
Well, one can dream.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, if we create this family business, well, we have created this family business. Wouldn't it be nice if Weston was one day filling the shoes of his father?
So
wouldn't that be it?
That'd be 3 generations.
That would be amazing. So of course I can dream about that, and now holding my new grandbaby is. Don't get cracked up, Scott. But it's so amazing.
That's cool.
He's so cute.
It's such a gift that he's adoring. Holy smokes.
He's just waiting for him to turn 16 so he can go back to $25 buildings.
Free labor.
We got to
Work
on you and Clay.
No more movie theaters. Oh, geez, I got caught up.
No, you guys
that out a little bit.
You guys are an awesome representation, I think, of good family legacy. There's a lot of strong, I think, family legacies in the janitorial company. We talked about Moreno, but you guys are right there, in terms of representing that. And multiple kids in the business is not always the case. And I think it's really cool. And we hit so much on the subcontracting last time that it would not do me justice to even revisit. So this time having you guys here in this awesome facility. So thank you guys for just being a part of, and also watching you guys kind of evolve over the last 3 years I've known you has been cool too.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining
you as well. Thanks for putting up with us and putting these types of things on. And
no, it's my pleasure.
Up companies.
We've grown a lot just because of our association with the Profitable Cleaner. I know these two have grown from those experiences. And I'm going to always be a supporter and I'm going to contribute. Mm-hmm. And I maybe one day will be on I'll be up on stage with you on any stage.
They need to be, man. Yeah.
Who knows?
They need to be.
But I think it's been a very, very important part of our growth over these last 3.5 years. Partnering with you guys with Cleaning Profits. So
I appreciate it, man.
and the podcasts were really great. I mean, we got a lot, like you said, we got a lot of viewers on that. My first podcast, it was 3 Christmases ago. I think it was,
Yeah, man, you're right about that. Holy cow. Yeah,
it was around December 15th. And I don't know if we may have to edit this thing. I don't know if it's episode 46.
really?
Better find that out.
It might be 86. I don't know. We'll put it in the show notes below.
Right.
Andrea will work her magic.
That's right.
Dude, I don't know. You were, it was around Christmas.
It was part 1. And we did it 3 years ago to the month.
Holy cow, man.
Yep.
That's wild.
So,
It's wild.
but a lot of things have changed, and I'm back in Colorado now.
Oh, yeah. You weren't even in Colorado.
No, I was in Carolina. So I live about 10, 12 minutes from Bryn's house. So I'm eager to come over and babysit and hang out and cut him a little break because he's juggling pots and pans and,
Oh, yeah. You need it.
and computers and baby and phone calls. And Breckelle's a huge role in helping her big brother out and being Auntie Breckelle.
That's cool.
So it's really exciting. So we're in a really good place. We're looking forward to a powerful 2025. Bryn and I are flying out tonight to Minneapolis to see a new customer, 48 locations. So we are growing and we're now national. We have accounts in many states. So that actually transpired by way of being a part of the Profitable Cleaner.
Nice.
So I have to tip my hat to you and
I love hearing that.
everybody over there.
I
So
love hearing that.
thank you, James.
And if you
very,
guys-
very much.
Well, thank you, man. And if you guys are listening to this right now and you guys want to connect with these 3 or just learn more about accurate building maintenance, we're going to have everything linked in the show notes below. And that tells me we got to do a 4th one of these or a 3rd one next December.
Part
right?
3.
Yeah, part 3. So thank you guys.
I see your demons, I'm telling them it's on sight. I'm just playing, I don't fight, I do pray.